Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ryan Jenkins, and we begin with that mass shooting after Milwaukee's Juneteenth celebration. 6 teens were shot, the youngest victim just 14 years old. Miriam McCarr joins us live near the scene. And Miriam, the police chief says that they've identified at least one of the shooters.
Yeah, Ryan, one of the teenagers who was injured was identified as a shooter in this case. He is now in police custody. Earlier in the day, these streets were filled with dozens, hundreds, actually thousands of people who were celebrating a joyful holiday. Now, it wasn't until after the event was over that this split-second decision ended up injuring half a dozen teenagers. Now officials are saying that something needs to be done about the youth violence in the city.
You do not have the right, you don't have the right to steal the joy that this community felt today.
6 teenagers, ranging in age from 14 to 19 years old, are suffering gunshot wounds and broken bones after a shooting broke out on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive following Milwaukee's Juneteenth parade. Police say the event was over when a fight between teenage girls escalated.
This is a story that plays out too often, and it's getting really old. Really old.
Video shows that fight happen, leading up to the moment police say a 17-year-old pulled out a gun and started firing. Letitia Spruer witnessing the aftermath of that chaos firsthand.
I looked up and I saw one girl limping with her leg, and another girl was shot on the ground with a shotgun to her neck and her leg.
Milwaukee, what's going on with our children?
MPD Chief Jeffrey Norman saying this is a first.
8 years I've been part of the Juneteenth celebration as a commander, as a Juneteenth organizer. This has never happened before.
Both the chief and mayor pointing to the city's rise in youth gun violence as an epidemic that needs to be solved.
It is stupidity. Arguments should not lead to guns being fired off, period. Period. There's no reason that a young person should have their hand on a gun of any kind. No reason whatsoever.
Thankfully, there were no deaths as a result of this shooting. Officials say they want the day to be remembered for what it is, a holiday celebrating freedom and a decades-long tradition within the city.
One person pulled out a gun and caused problems today after the festivities were over. Other than that, we had thousands and thousands and thousands of people here celebrating.
Although one shooter is in custody, police are still seeking unknown suspects as they try to piece together what exactly happened this afternoon. Now the mayor and the police chief are saying the entire community needs to work together to make sure teenagers stop pulling the trigger. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Miriam McCarr, TMJ4 News.
Lots of work to be done, Miriam. Thank you. Again, the violence did not happen during the Juneteenth celebration, but organizers tell TMJ4 News it will make them take a second look at the festival's security plans in the future.
We have work to do. We'd like Juneteenth to be an inclusive day. Everyone is welcome, and we want that to be a safe and enjoyable event. It has been up until now, and we want to maintain that. So yes, I'm very disappointed that someone would ruin a perfect run.
And going in depth now as we move into summer, 361 non-fatal shootings have been recorded so far this year in Milwaukee. That's behind the pace from both this time last year and 2021.